Two people were killed as thousands rushed a UN food warehouse. Hungry crowds broke into and looted the World Food Program facility, carrying away bags and cartons of supplies. That comes as Israel accused the UN of seeking to, quote, block Gaza aid distribution. The UN says it's doing all it can to gather the limited assistance green-lighted by Israel's authorities. The humanitarian situation in Gaza, where Israel has imposed a 2-month aid blockade, is dire. Experts say starvation is close for 1 in 5 people there. Well, we're going to talk more about all of this now with our Jerusalem correspondent, Noga Tarnopolsky, who joins me live from there. Noga, what more do we know about the aid that's getting into Gaza at the moment? What's the situation today after those chaotic first few days of this new aid distribution scheme?
Well, for now, that entire scheme appears to be something of a fiasco, and its future is very, very unclear. Today, this morning, we journalists here were invited by the Israeli army to see exactly the scenes you're showing now on screen of UN vehicles coming into Gaza. It's unclear where any of those goods are going to get to, since the warehouses they were supposed to go to don't seem to be secure. But I also want to point out that the fact that these UN vehicles, these trucks are coming in, is another indication for us that the new scheme put together by the so-called Gaza Humanitarian Foundation is a fiasco, because Israel would not be allowing these UN trucks in if its own system or the system that it backs showed any signs of working. And we don't even know if it's going to be operational today. So far, it was supposed to be operational for 2 days, and on both days, it had to close down, they said temporarily, because hungry mobs rushed the facilities. So right now, despite the fact that for almost 2 weeks now, Israel has officially been in the position of saying that it is lifting the blockade and allowing humanitarian aid into Gaza, the fact is that I don't think we can say humanitarian aid is actually making it into those who need it in Gaza.
Noga, there's another big story coming out of Israel today, and that's the far-right finance minister who announced the creation of 22 new settlements in the occupied West Bank. What more can you tell us about that?
It's the finance minister and his colleague, the minister for settlements. And the statement is significant. Remember, this is coming just days after, 2 days, if I'm not mistaken, after the United Arab is ambassador to reprimand him for the way the Netanyahu government is behaving towards East Jerusalem, Muslim East Jerusalem, and the holy sites, the Al-Aqsa Mosque in particular. And now you have the same Israeli government again appearing to provoke intentionally the Arab world, and possibly also provoke President Donald Trump, who is trying to create trillion-dollar deals with the Gulf Emirates, by saying basically that it is going to begin enacting a de facto annexation of the West Bank. 22 new settlements would be very significant. That said, for now, we're talking just about statements and not about bulldozers, and there are going to be significant legal roadblocks raised within the Israeli judicial system before any of this can happen. But the statement itself says a lot about where the Netanyahu government is facing.
Noga, thank you very much for that. That's France 24's Noga Tarnopolsky reporting from Jerusalem.